If you don't use any of my Explain New Zealand scenery, this video will probably be a complete waste of time, so go and watch something else. If you do use the scenery I've made for Explain in New Zealand, then you may want to watch this. Now, this is XNZPH, and at that airfield there's a custom hangar where I got info from a landing video or the textures from Street View, so it's all quite realistic, and I'm quite happy with that building. However, that's the part of scenery making which increasingly I'm finding to be a chore. It's something I just have to grit my teeth and grind through to get a result of that building. The bit that provided my enjoyment is stuff like the little overgrown corners of airfields that let me indulge my creative side. Adding a bit of clutter and long grass and those kind of areas, they do add quite a bit to the whole look and aesthetic of these smaller airfields. And that's nice because a lot of New Zealand is just these kind of smaller airfields. Now, that was great in Explain 11, but in 12 the grass seems to have disappeared. Well, actually it is still there, it's just largely invisible now. I did find a topic about this on the internet, and there was a thing you could edit into the .for files which helped cure the problem for bigger old style trees, but didn't really work on smaller things like grass. And it didn't when I tried it too, because this is the result, and you maybe get 1 pixel out of every 20 or 30 showing. So with that, it's still pretty much invisible and unusable. But it can get worse than that, because not only is the vegetation invisible, it can make some objects behind it invisible too. I'm not sure how well this will show up on the video, but you can see the ground texture at the far side through the aeroplane, which is obviously not a good look. Same thing's happening to the person stood there too. I did read that Lamina have been aware of this for a while and have no plans to change anything or try and fix it. Now, I did also read there was a plan for Lamina to do some 3D grass of their own, which is a reason I suppose to ignore this 2D grass problem, but apparently that may take quite a while before we see it, because the mechanics of the new 3D forests don't work very well for grass forests, as that would need much smaller and closer together objects for those grassy areas. Yeah, no idea why it doesn't work, but that's what I've read. So basically this is where I'm at now. 3D grass will arrive eventually, but when it does, I'm likely to be limited to only what Lamina give me. With Explain 11 stuff, I could quickly and easily edit sizes, spacing, colours, the look of things, but being able to do that with Explain 12 grass, I would say is highly unlikely. I used to be able to edit trees in Explain 11 too, but the .for files, when you opened them, were about 20 lines maximum, and I once copied an Explain 12 file into Microsoft Word just to see how big it is, and forget 20 lines, it's actually over 800 whole pages. I wouldn't have a clue where to even start with that. So Explain 12 has taken away one of my editing tricks there. So the grass is unusable in Explain 12. So to do an update of an airfield now, I really should be removing that grass. And as a lot of these smaller places rely on those grassy areas to make them look nice, if I did an update now, it would actually make the scenery worse, as I'd be taking stuff away rather than adding to it. I mean, see here in Explain 12, there's nothing to see. And then in Explain 11, the grass has created a pathway from the gate, giving it the overgrown feel, and it just kind of looks so much better. So with the things I can and can't do in 12, I'm left with the stuff that I don't really enjoy doing much, such as that building, and no longer have the capabilities to do the things I considered fun, like these pretty bits of overgrown eye candy, etc. And I can't do a lot of the vegetation editing tricks that I used to use. I suppose with the arrival of 12, it's probably fair to say that the sim evolved quite a lot. And I think I have to admit that it's evolved much faster than I can keep up with, or would actually want to keep up with. So I think I may just have to enter the history books as Dazza the Explain 11 guy, because I've kind of run out of motivation to carry on with this in any major way now. So I'm not saying I'm giving up. I mean, who knows what the future brings, but for the foreseeable future, that's probably the end of my involvement in any new airfields or major upgrades, and I'll be going back to just being a pilot and a user again. I'll still be on the forum if you need help, and I'll still keep making videos too, so I'm still going to be around, but just in a different context to the last few years. So as Dazza the YouTube video guy from now on, I'll try and upload a few flights, and in those I'll keep you up to date if anything does change on the scenery making front. But for now, that's about it really. We had a good run during Explain 11. Most of it still works okay in Explain 12, but much like the packet of biscuits I've just finished, all good things do come to an end. Although hopefully I'll see you again for another flying video soon. Till then, bye.